What if you put all your skill points into one anime trope? What would that look like? Well, have you ever seen Toradora? Perhaps a more recent one, like The Flagrant Flowers Bloom with Dignity. What do these two shows have in common? Well, the MCs have a scary face, I guess. According to the writing they do. I personally don't see it. What if you did that, but turned that shit up to 100%?
In your
Well, meet the main character from a manga by the name of Angel Densetsu. Now, you may have heard of this series, or you might have heard of the author's other popular series known as Claymore, a series about a mercenary-esque group of all-female warriors in a battle against shape-shifting monsters called Yoma. It's a fantastic manga and one of the first series I ever read. Angel Densetsu, a 15-volume series that was created 9 years before Claymore, is quite a bit different, but holds some similarities that I'll talk about later in the video. The premise of Angel Densetsu is all about a young teenager by the name of Kitano Saichiro.
But what the hell, boy?
Holy Jesus. What is that? What the fuck is that?
Now, Saichiro is, to all intents and purposes, an amazing guy. The viewers may even liken him to an angel. But this angel doesn't have the characteristics one would imagine when they hear the word angel. He has a devilish face that leaves even the most hardened warriors petrified with fear and sends any regular old civilian running in terror, even being likened or believed to be the devil incarnate many times throughout the series, and is seen by nearly the entirety of the cast as a badass, tough as they come delinquent, despite the fact that he always comes to class and is always there on time. I think to give you a better grasp of the story, we need to jump ahead a bit. The author does a great job at breaking down what Angel Densetsu is at its core. So let's jump ahead to book 15, chapter 86, the final chapter.
Yep, session number 1.
At the end of this dreamless, hopeless, inhospitable century, there was a boy who possessed a serenely honest and simple heart. But his outward appearance, from his tiny black irises to his year-round ghost-pale skin and black marks under his eyes, which made him look like a heroin addict, to his nearly non-existent eyebrows and vicious bedhead that required the liberal application of hair gel to keep under control. But he didn't mind his frightening looks, and his angelic heart helped him overcome many trials and tribulations. Sometimes he solved misunderstandings, and sometimes he received them, and he made very many precious friends. The story of Kitano-kun, the boy with a heart like an angel, will continue long after this point, including many incidents to come and new friends to be made. I actually quite like how the author ends this series here. A lot of writers leave endings up to interpretation, but I like the fact that he insists upon there being a future for these characters and many more adventures to come, which is comforting in a lot of ways for those of us who have grown attached to any of these characters. The author even writes a 5-page afterword where he talks about his thoughts of his creations.
Number 2.
So no matter that the manga we call Angel Densetsu ends here, the lives of the people of Hakiku Town will continue on without us. When you imagine what happens on a school field trip, what happens when Kitano visits a convenience store late at night, what happens if bank robbers attack the bank when he's inside? Too easy. What the fuck is that? And everything else that will happen in our characters' lives. Hakiku Town and its funny, curious people are alive and evolving in our head. His afterward and nonchalant ending I definitely enjoyed and is befitting a series like this. Hell, it nearly took the entirety of this 15-volume series for the romance to evolve for our MC Kitano just to get an off-screen kiss, which is actually pretty funny if you think about it, but I certainly cannot complain. It gives a fairy tale feeling to the series, and with the romance not being the center point of the manga, but it also being the cause of many conflicts throughout the series, I think finally getting that resolute confirmation of their feelings is nice. But one thing you may have noticed throughout this video is anime clips being shown and not manga. And yes, similar to Claymore, it has its own anime. But unlike Claymore, which got a full 26 episode season, Angel Densetsu only got a 2-episode OVA. But that does not mean it's not a fantastic 2 episodes that really bring life and more literally color to the series, which I really enjoyed. The studio does a fantastic job with the animation, and interesting enough, it's from a small little studio you may have heard of, Toei Animations. I've mentioned this a couple times throughout the channel's history, but I am a massive fan of old animation. It very much ages like fine wine and has such a charming, warm feeling to it, and Angel Densetsu, which translates to Angel Legend, certainly fits that legendary age of animation. Everything from the opening theme song to the transitionary shot of an AC unit at the school building.
I'm thugged out, nigga, but I just seen a motherfucker.
AC unit.
Nigga, that shit beautiful than a motherfucker.
The short 2 episodes really capture the world and is a great starting point to see if you'd be interested in reading the manga if you've yet to read it. Funny enough, seeing anime clips online was actually what put this series on my radar. Getting to hear their voices and see their action through animation instead of still images gives such life to the characters, and I'm really glad Toei took on the project of animating this way back in 1996. I wish we got a full show, but I think this is one of those series that couldn't really just be a small 12 episodes, and the 2 OVA episodes were not popular enough to warrant a full adaptation. It's really interesting looking back on Claymore, which I read so long ago, and comparing it to Angel Densetsu. The biggest, most obvious difference is just how much Norihiro Yagi has grown as a mangaka in the 9 years between the 2 mangas. His artistic talents have leveled up immensely, and that's not to say I didn't enjoy his old art. My love for old animation translates to manga as well. There's so much charm and character in these pages. I saw people complaining about the art, and that just could not be me. But that doesn't mean I don't recognize the growth between each series. He's leveled up a lot, and you can still see his character designs are reminiscent of his previous style. He keeps with the discrimination trope, same as Angel Densetsu in Claymore. Claymore's MC Claire being treated poorly due to her half-Yoma biology. And the biggest thing that screams Claymore to me while reading Angel Densetsu is the 5 chapters that take place in volume 14, where Ikuno, one of our main characters, takes on the task of defeating the evil Kitano Saichiro for a younger blonde boy. The relationship reminds me heavily of Claire and Rocky. Huh? Nah, she's for real an asshole for this. If you don't know, she did this entire thing because some random little boy asked her to beat the shit out of her friend.
You should keep your hoe on a leash.
A funny coincidence, I was talking about Toradora and The Flowers Bloom with Dignity at the start of this video, and I just so happened to start watching a show called From Me to You, or probably better known as its Japanese name, Kimi ni Dotoke. I'd always been interested in this show, but never really thought it looked that good, and the art style did not speak to me. But first, boy was I wrong, I really enjoyed it. And second, more importantly, this show has the very same concept as Angel Densetsu, more so than any of the other 2 I mentioned. It just goes to show you how popular this trope has become in some high-end manga/anime, and Angel Densetsu was one of the key players that popularized the angelic heart, scary visage trope. It's a great manga, and honestly, I couldn't tell you which one I liked more, Claymore or Angel Densetsu, but I'm leaning toward Angel Densetsu, but that might be because it's been so long since I read Claymore. But anyways, it's not a competition. This series brings with it some awesome, charming 90s manga art and some great storytelling and some hilarious moments. But above all else, it brings some amazing characters to the table that I've grown to love. Have you guys read this series? If so, what did you think? And if not, go read it. It's very good, worth the time. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.